Hey there everyone, Kurtzing here with another YouTube video on Great League battles. Today we've got Superior in the lead, and then Azumarill, and I think it's the Innovan Stunfisk, typically as the safe swap. So here you've got it against Skarmory, gonna do super effective damage with the discharges, and I am running the Mud Bomb and Discharge with Mud Shot. It's a fast move, so it's not super effective against things like flyers and stuff like that, but it does generate energy good, and it works well against steals like Reg Steel and stuff like that. So there they bring back in the Whiscash, and I go for Mud Bomb. Doesn't go through. I think they won CMP, and they throw a Mud Bomb, super effective. Doesn't quite take me out, so I go for my own Mud Bomb now, and gets their shield, so that's positive. I'm okay here. I get to another Mud Bomb. I'm okay getting taken out here, and then coming back in with my Superior instead of trying to switch, because then I would be locked in if they switch out, which they do, into a Charge Bug. So that's not going to be very good for me with Azumarill in the back. So let's see what I can do here. I can throw an Aerial Ace. You have to take both shields now. I have to start shield because this will be X-Scissor, which is going to do a lot of damage. And from enough, I've almost 2 Aerial Aces, and there you can see I think another Vine Whip snuck through, and I didn't register that I had clicked on the Aerial Ace. So unfortunately I had to use both shields. But I do have pretty much back-to-back Aerial Aces now. Throw the first one, takes him into the yellow, and I do get to the next one before they are able to throw a move. So throw that, and then I try to switch, and I'm hoping to catch the X-Scissor. And they do throw the X-Scissor, so that was perfect timing on my part. And there I'm able to bubble down. And then they've got the Whiscash in the back, and there's not a lot that it can do. Scald, they're running Scald and Mud Bomb, and you can see there Scald doesn't do much. It did drop my attack, but this Ice Beam is going to do half health, even debuffed, and then they're able to get to probably just a Mud Bomb. They're just trying to chip as much as they can, but I still have the Superior in the back, so they just decide to give up. Good game to my opponent there. And let's jump right into the next match here. So Superior on the lead into Jellicent, which is a really, really good lead for me. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So I throw at 4, they sneak a 5th X through. I should have waited one more. They let it go, which shocked me, and I get another Vine Whip through. So they will get taken out as long as I shield this. It is a Shadow Ball, so that was good. They bring in a Skarmory, so I switch right away into my Stunfisk, and they answer with Umbreon. So I'm just going to go for my bombs here. So to touch on the Skarmory thing, a nice thing about this team is the Stunfisk is the better answer for Skarmory with the Discharge. However, if I switch to it and they switch out like they did, I do still have a Azumarill that can handle Skarmory. It's not quite as good with the Ice Beam because it's the Steel resists that. But what this does is it allows me, like I brought out the Umbreon now, so say the Umbreon takes me out, I still have the Azumarill that can handle Umbreon and the Skarmory. So it worked well for several of the battles that way. So throw a Mud Bomb, and I decide to go back into my Superior because I'm anticipating that they're going to switch out again. Throw the Dark Pulse there. I no shield that, go for the Aerial Ace, and they catch on the Skarmory. So here I'm going to go just for another Aerial Ace, and they are going to try to farm me down, and I'm going to get to another Aerial Ace here. gets them into the yellow, and now I can bring in sorry, Stunfisk. I'm gonna no shield this, thinking it's a sky attack. They get to another move here, and at this point I'm just gonna let it go. Kind of sloppy play by me in this regard, but the Azumarill can take pretty much whatever move. They bring back in the Umbreon, and I think this actually kind of won me the game, because at this point I can just farm down and get a bunch of energy. They still have 2 shields, I have a shield. I do decide to throw just to try to preserve some health, and no point in getting, not being able to use my energy, right? Getting too much energy. So they bring Skarmory back in, I throw an Ice Beam right away. They are going to shield it or I'll take them out. So now we're even shields, and I'm still really healthy. And here, if I no shield and they Brave Bird, I lose. But I figured that they had enough energy that they would probably bait first. And so I let the first one go through. They throw another one, I shield it, and bubble down. So good game, very close. I feel, watching it back, I feel like I made it a lot closer than it needed to be. So Superior into Sableye. And gonna go for a Frenzy Plant here. Neutral matchups, I always like to go for Frenzy Plant. It just hits so hard. Even against Medicham, even though Aerial Ace is super effective against the fighting, Frenzy Plant does more damage. So they switch into Bastiodon, and I'm able to answer my Azumarill, which I thought was a little bit interesting. If I had Hydro Pump, they would get taken out. But Ice Beam, unfortunately, doesn't do a lot, so it's mostly the bubble damage. This is very long. Back and forth, back and forth. Another Ice Beam here. Nothing that they can throw at me is really going to hurt me either, so I'm going to just save my shields. I decided to go for a Flamethrower. So just keep bubbling down here. Get to another Ice Beam. I always let that rock throw through. Get them into the yellow, or so the red now, and then they switched out into Sableye and through. So I was like, okay, well, whatever, you can take that. I'm gonna save my shields and bring back in Superior. Unfortunately, there another, again, like the Vine Whip, I think I overtap or something. As you can see, I clicked on it, but I was stuck in the animation still. So they throw it, I do decide to shield, go for a Frenzy Plant, they shield. So now I've got both shields. And I get to another Frenzy Plant before they get to move, so that's big for me. And take that out, take the Sableye out, and in the back they've got a Medicham. So kind of what I was talking about earlier, I go straight for the Frenzy Plant, but they do get to move first, so I'm going to shield this up. It is Ice Punch. Now, Stunfisk is going to take super effective against, or from the Ice Punches, but I'm able to land that Frenzy Plant, which is going to get them into the yellow, and one Mud Bomb is going to pretty much take them out. So I'm going to farm up as much as I can here, take the Ice Punch. I can take probably another one plus counter damage. Throw this Mud Bomb. That takes out the Medicham, and then they've got the Bastiodon in the back, and I have a Mud Bomb loaded for that, so I throw that right away, and that takes out the Bastiodon. So that's a good match there. Into the next battle here. Registeel lead. Not the greatest. They're not doing super effective or anything like that to me, but the Frenzy Plants don't do a lot, and if they happen to get an attack debuff on like a Zap Cannon, then the Frenzy Plants are going to do even less. But I don't really want to switch into Azumarill because, again, similar to Bastiodon and Skarmory, the only thing that's really going to do any damage is the bubbles, and Zap Cannon would do a massive amount. And if I switch into Stunfisk, they're just going to switch out. So I kind of have to play this out, stay in here. I do give up a shield, and then I do switch into Izumro. I'm kind of feeling like they're going to switch out, give up my next shield here, get the Zap Cannon, and I'm at an Ice Beam. So they let that go and then switch out. Don't want to get farmed down, I guess. They bring in Swampert, and I'm going to go for an Ice Beam here. That connects as well. So I'm starting to wonder what they have in the back that they're saving their shields for. Throw an Earthquake, and at this point I'm going to, I think I'd live a Hydro Cannon from here. Yeah, just barely get to the Ice Beam. This is huge because this will either take them out or force a shield finally. And they decide to let it go. And then they bring back in Registeel. So I'm going to bring in the Stunfisk at this point and try to farm down. I do manage to farm down. So now in the back they've got Mantine and 2 shields. So Mantine can debuff with, what is it called? Like bubble beam. So I'm trying to throw as many discharges as I can, as fast as I can, before they debuff me, just to try to get exactly that. Either shield it or you're going to get hit really hard. So let that one go through, throw an Ice Beam. That takes me into the yellow. So I switch and throw the Aerial Ace that I have loaded. I'm trying to either get their last shield or take them out, obviously. And this, I'm hoping either, or like I wanted them to throw again, so I didn't get hit with another Ice Beam from the Stunfisk, so I'm able to get enough energy fast enough to force them to throw, or I would have taken them out with Superior. Get to discharge, throw that, and that's a good game. Well played to my opponent. So now some battles that I did later in the day here. Golbat lead, kind of tricky. Doing super effective against my Superior with Air Slash, I think it is. And my Aerial Ace isn't going to do a ton of damage. They can also throw Poison Fang, which is going to debuff me and also be effective against the grass. Or Shadow Ball, which would do a decent chunk. So I decided to shield the first one, and then I go into Azumarill again. Stunfisk would have been a better answer probably. However, that got them to switch out, and they switched into basically a winning matchup for me in Swampert. Unless Swampert, of course, has Sludge Wave, which very few do. So here we're going back and forth throwing moves. And they decide to go for an Earthquake here, which gets me deep into the red. And I'm going to go with Play Rough. Try to do as much damage as I can here. They let that go through, so we're both into the red. I'm going to be able to bubble them down if they don't throw. So they're forced to throw just before I take them out. So I'm going to let them take out my Azumarill, and I think I come in with Superior and get one Vine Whip, a little bit of extra energy, switch into Stunfisk and take a move. If I was thinking about it afterwards, I feel like I should have stayed in, taken the Poison Fang, and then switched. But either way, they bring in a Lantern now. So things are looking pretty good in this match for me because Stunfisk with Mud Bombs, as you can see there, does really good against Lantern. I can live a Surf, but I feel like Surf is going to be the thing that's going to bug me the most. So I do shield the first one up, and then I get their last shield with that Mud Bomb, and now I'm going to have to take a Surf, but I do live, and then I think that I get to that Mud Bomb, and then I think I switch into Superior, similar to last match. I don't want to get farmed down, and I kind of want to force them to throw. And so I had some energy loaded, so I switch, throw the Aerial Ace, That does a little bit of chip damage, but they have to throw to take me out here. And I do get to another move here, so this is just Poison Fang. I'll live it. It is just Poison Fang, so I live, and I'm able to throw an Air Release, which is going to really threaten them. And one more Vine Whip, and that takes them out. So we both take each other out, but I still had that Stunfisk in the back, so I win that one. So another close game there. Well played. To my opponents. Okay, so here I've kind of misclicked, I think. I mean, I clicked on the one that I wanted, but I feel like I would have been better switching into Stunfisk. Although it's a toss-up because they probably are running Aqua Tail, which would have come, I think, one Poison Sting faster than the Crunch, and would have really done a lot of damage to my Stunfisk. So probably actually worked out for the best, because I don't need to shield up the Crunches. Poison Sting is doing a lot of damage, but I don't need to shield up any of their charge moves. Yeah, so there they have Aqua Tail. Go for another Ice Beam here. Got shield already on the first one. Get their second shield. And then they switch into Lantern, so at this point I'm going to switch right back into Superior. Throw the Frenzy Plant. This is going to do massive damage. Gets him right into the red right away. And I'm not going to shield. It's either going to be a Thunderbolt or Surf. Neither one does much damage. And so I'm able to Vine Whip down. And then they're probably going to bring back in, no they don't, they just bring in a Wigglytuff. So I'm going to go for Frenzy Plant. Remember, Frenzy Plant hits super hard, so that's almost 50%. I'm just about to another one. I get to another one before they get to a move, so that's going to be a good game to Wigglytuff there. Thanks for joining the battle. And then I switched into Azumarill and don't shield. I decide to just, I was like, yeah, they can take me out if they're going to take me out, but they actually went for an Aqua Tail and I live. So I throw out an Ice Beam and bubble down, and that's a good game. And if I remember correctly, I didn't even bring out Stunfisk. At that point, I specifically went back to Azumarill because I was like, I don't want them to know that I have Stunfisk in the back. So, probably the last match here. Frenzy Plant gets the shield from Medicham. Medicham's gonna throw, I feel like it's Ice Punch. I do shield at the last second, trying to weigh my options of what I think is gonna do more damage. They switch into Pidgeot. When I saw it come up as a normal flying, I actually was thinking it was knocked out. But I let the Feather Dance go through. Go for a Discharge here. Even debuffed, this is going to start to really add up. It is super effective against flying. And I believe I outpaced them pretty well as well. So I'm able to get to another Discharge here before they're able to debuff me again. So even debuffed, two of them gets them into the red. So I'm pretty sure a not debuffed one would take them out in two. They Brave Bird me. And then I kind of stupidly go for a Mud Bomb here. I was thinking, oh, I'll just go for a little bit less damage and be able to get some farm. And then realize that like the Mud Shots aren't going to really farm them down. It's going to take a long time, but they switched out anyways. So it worked out fine. I'm not really sure why they switched. Well, probably not to get farmed down. So they bring in Lantern, throw in a Mud Bomb, get a shield, switch back into Superior, and land a Frenzy Plant. So here again, I'm not going to shield. It is another Thunderbolt, and at that point I just farm down. They bring back in the Pidgeot, and I have the Air Lace loaded, so I'm going to throw that. That connects and takes out the Pidgeot, and then they have Medicham in the back, and I've got a Azumarill for Medicham, so not really much they can do. That's pretty much game over there. The play rough is gonna do super effective damage if I get that far. And they just give up. So there you have it. That's a handful of battles. Like I said, nothing in super particular order or anything. That was the ending of the 4-1 set there that I did. Got Phantom as a reward and moved up. Still very, very close to 2,000. I was above 2,000, dropped, came back, dropped again, and now I'm back up again. Look forward to tomorrow doing some more battles, grinding some more. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, leave a like or a comment.